Hi everybody, my name is Jaden.
I'm Eli.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Jason.
I'm Caden.
I'm Jason. Wow, we just can't get that together. We should try again, but I guess we'll leave that. We'll leave that in the beginning of it. Thank you guys very, very much. We are the Yahushua and the Torah channel, and we believe what, Eli?
That the Torah is still around, that we keep the laws to this day.
Why do we keep the laws, Jade?
Because it commanded us for all generations. We are the people of Yahshua, and if we want to be the children of Yahuwah, we do as he says. He is our father.
I think that makes us sound a little like a high roller, like we are better than everybody else. Is that the case?
No.
That we are lesser, right? We are under the hand of Yah, where people live their lives how they want to live. We are humbling ourselves before Yah.
Yeah, and a lot of people will say, well, because you keep the commandments, you just think you're better than everybody else. And in fact, because we keep the commandments, we will absolutely know that we are not better than anything else, and that we are fallen people, and that we absolutely need the laws, statutes, and commandments of our Creator for all times. And it is a beautiful, beautiful thing. It is something that will enhance your life. It will bless your life. It will bless your family. It will make strong men, strong women, strong children, and strong families. It is the tie that will bind, and it is what the glue is needed for all of us in all of our lives. And without it, we are simply lost sheep. We don't know where we're going. We've lost a shepherd. We have no shepherd. And by reading the Torah, we realize that we have had a shepherd, and then we also realize that our Messiah was coming, and that he has come, and that he has paid the price that we could not pay. And it is by his stripes that we are healed, and there is no other way to the Shamayim except through the name of our Messiah and the keeping the laws, statutes, and commands of our Creator. Gentlemen, how you guys doing?
Good.
How's everyone?
Good.
You guys tired?
A little bit.
A little bit? Right. Not much? A little bit? You guys doing everything? Nicole, you all right over there?
I'm good.
She's good. All right. So today is month 8 on our Creator's calendar. That means it is the 19th day on the Creator's calendar. It is the 14th day on the Gregorian Babylonian calendar. It is a November on that as well. And again, for those who do not know, all those names like Aviv, Tammuz, whatever the other names of the months are, that is all Babylonian stuff that came out of Babylon, and our Creator does not have names for any of that stuff. And so one thing I'd like to put in there, the name of our Messiah, most people know him as Jesus the Christ. There were no J's in Hebrew ever. And so his name was never Jesus. That is a pagan name. It actually comes from 3 different pagan gods that they did. And so it is not our Messiah. Our Messiah is Yahushua. It's like Joshua with a Y. And there's no other name. There's no better name. And there's no better leader that we are going to have. And he will be our king. And I am looking forward to that day. I'm looking forward to evil being smashed upon these lands, and for us to be in a better place than where we are surrounded by evil and evil people and evil intent and all of this. Okay, I'm doing the handy dandy split screen, everyone. Almost. Thank you guys. Thank you. You guys are the best band I've ever had by far. Besides that, you're the only band I've ever had, but still you're the best. And so here we are. Mark 12. Let us begin. 12. And he began to speak to them in parables. A man planted a vineyard and put a hedge around it and dug a vat for the winepress and built a watchtower and let it out to farmers and went away. And in due season, he sent a servant to the farmers to receive some of the fruit of the vineyard from the farmers. Okay, so set this up for us, guys. What exactly is happening? What can we count like in today's world? I guess it would be like a man just basically goes and finds a good piece of land. He goes and builds all the facilities for it. And instead of him wanting to work it, he just wants to gather the rewards from it, the fruit from it, or a part of the fruit from it. And that's how it usually works, is somebody will come and either lease your land, or that you will give them the land, they will farm it, and then they give you a percentage of it, is how it goes, because it's your land, and they're putting it on there. Okay, and they seized and beat him. I got to go to the other side here, guys, sorry. This one's a little funny today. And sent him away empty-handed. And again he sent them another servant, and throwing stones they wounded him in the head, and having insulted, sent him away. And again he sent another, and they killed him, and many others, beating some and killing some. He had one more son, his beloved. He sent him last of all, saying, they shall respect my son. But those farmers said among themselves, "This is the heir. Come, let us kill him, and the inheritance shall be ours." So they took and killed him and threw him out of the vineyard. What then shall the owner of the vineyard do? He shall come and destroy the farmers and give the vineyard to others. Have you not read this scripture? The stone which the builders rejected has become the chief cornerstone. Okay, where's the out of guys?
Is
that Isaiah?
the next verse. Oops.
Is that Psalms? Isn't that Isaiah though? I thought that was Isaiah. This was from Yahuwah, and it is marvelous in our eyes. And they were seeking to seize him, but feared the crowd, for they knew he had spoken the parable against them. And leaving him, they went away. And they sent to him some of the Pharisees and the Herodians to catch him in a word. And when they came, they said to him, "Teacher, we know that you are true, and it does not concern you about anyone, for you are not partial to any, but teach the way of Elohim in truth. Is it right to pay taxes to Caesar or not? Should we pay or should we not pay?" And he said, knowing their hypocrisy, said to them, "Why do you try me? Bring me a piece of silver to look at." And they brought it. And he said to them, "Whose likeness and inscription is this?" And they said to him, "Caesar's." So Yahushua said to them, "Give to Caesar what is Caesar's, and to Elohim what is Elohim's." And they marveled at him. All right, what do we make of this right here?
Basically, since that was created by man, they were not created, but he made that, and he put his inscription and face on there. He's like, pay what is Caesar's, and give Yahuwah's Yahuwah's.
What can we glean from this particular thing about possibly things of today, taxes?
I guess give to the IRS what tax.
Give to the IRS. What is the IRS? Yeah, I mean that is the lesson here. I mean they were trying to trick him, and
because they brought the Herodians as well. And if he would have said don't pay tax, they would have arrested him and beat him up.
Well, yeah, they would have beat him up. I mean, you can't say that. Is what is Caesar's is Caesar's, Kaiser's.
And that's why he's like, "Why are you trying to tempt me here? What's the plan here?" And he was just way smarter than these guys on so many different levels. They're like.
Yeah,
they have like almost child's play questions compared to what he would ask them.
Yeah, and he says it in such a simple way, like whose likeness and inscription is this? You know, it's like, well, that's Caesar's. Well, looks like Caesar has put the money out here, so give to Caesar what is Caesar's.
Basically, it was like, you're under Caesar, pay Caesar his thing. I mean, now you're gonna get arrested and beat up.
Yep.
Save yourself.
Yep. And the Sadducees, who say there is no resurrection, came to him and asked him, saying, "Teacher, Moshe wrote us that if a brother of anyone dies and leaves his wife behind and leaves no children, his brother should take his wife and raise up offspring for his brother." Okay, we've talked about this before. What is the law?
That is correct. That is the Torah command, that if a brother dies and he had a wife and he had no kids, that means the brother would take the wife and he would basically raise up a family in his name.
So we talked about this in the last chapter, right? We talked about that. Say, for instance, you guys, you're 19 years old right now, and there's probably no genetic line that is available for us down in these parts. So you're probably not going to be able to find a mate in this world. Maybe you will at one point, but supposedly you do. And Jaden, you're the oldest. Mm-hmm. So let's say you find a wife, and she dies.
No.
Or no, he dies. Jubby dies. I got that whole wrong. I'm trying to put this. So Jubby dies. Oh no. So Jubby dies and Jade dies. Are you guys going to marry the wife according to Torah?
If he had no kids, sure.
So you will, yeah. Eli?
Yeah, it's a law.
It's a law. So you guys are going to do it. How is that going to be awkward?
I don't know.
Yeah, definitely awkward.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna have a wife or not as well when that happens and that time comes.
Okay, and so if you did have a wife, let's say both of you, Eli and Caden, you both have wives. Jubby, unfortunately, has gone to the Shamayim, or wherever he's the holding containment unit for the twins. And are you good with this, Eli?
It's a command.
Well, you would be off the hook a little bit because Cade would be on the hook first.
I think before I got married, I would have to explain these things to them. Like, look, if one of us dies, here's what's going to have to happen. You're all going to have to agree on this. It doesn't matter if I'm married to you. If he dies, I have to take her as well. And then I think we'd all have like a little handshake. We'd all be like, all right, okay, great.
Are you going to explain this to your wife before you marry her that possibly...
Yeah, because I would hope she would understand the Torah, right? If I meet her and she's like a Torah keeper, I'd hope she would understand this. She'd be like, look, here's the deal.
How do you explain that to a woman? A woman is not going to be okay with this in most aspects.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I I'm not even going down that road. I joked with my wife Nicole for years about concubines, and I'm like, look, they're just workers, right? You don't need to Solomon had stables of these guys, and they were the gals, and they were literally stables of them, and
big house.
But the point of the concubine was not just it wasn't like to ruin a family. It was to increase your family size and to get bigger, especially back in the days. And we've talked about this before, and the reasons that multiple wives were okay, and they, according to the Torah, they are still okay. There is no law anywhere that says you only have one wife at all. And we've argued with a lot of people at points, but there is no such thing. And back in the day, if you only had one single wife and you're out in the middle of somewhere, some marauders came by and they wipe out your entire, all two of you, it's over, right? But if you had 4 wives and you had 10 kids, then the marauders come by, you might have a shot at, staying alive and keeping your seed going. So anyway, there's a lot of reasons behind this, and even though it feels taboo for a lot of us because we are in a world where it's like only one wife per marriage, that is not biblical. Okay, here we go. Teacher, Moshe wrote to us that if a brother or anyone dies and leaves his wife behind and leaves no children, his brother should take his wife and raise up offspring for his brother. There were 7 brothers, and the first took a wife and died, leaving no offspring. And the second took her, and he died, leaving behind no offspring. And the third likewise. And the 7 left no offspring. Last of all, the woman died too. Caden, would you please stop snickering? I can't contain myself when you're doing this. Okay. In the resurrection then, when they rise, whose wife shall she be? For 7 had her as wife. And Yahushua answering said to them, is this not why you go astray? Because you do not know the scriptures nor the power of Elohim. Now he's telling this to people who should have known scriptures very, very, very well. But this sect, these are the Sadducees, right?
Yep.
These are the Sadducees, and they do not believe in a resurrection, even though we are told there is a resurrection. We're told there is a different place other than the place we are at. So they should have known this. So for Messiah Yahushua to say this, you don't even know what you're doing, it had to be kind of embarrassing for them. So he continues on. For when they rise from the dead, they neither marry nor are given in marriage, but are as messengers in the Shamayim. So this was a huge thing, and I've talked about this before. My wife and I were very, 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 very disappointed when we came to the realization that we would not be mates in the Shamayim and that we would be individualized, and that's really, really sad for us. But I don't think that we just end up dead and we lose all our memories, we lose all of this stuff. I don't think it's a reset. There would be no reason to ever reset. I think the memories and the life and the experience and all the joys and all the sadness and everything, I think that will go with us. That is the part of the experience that our Creator has given to us. I don't think we just die and have no memories of anything. We just rise up on the other side and we're totally separate. I think that we will know who our spouses are. We will know who our friends are. We will know who our family are. And, I think that's the way it is. All of you guys out there, our family out there we love to sit and talk to and hang out with. I really, truly hope to give you guys giant grizzly bear hugs and high fives and, the Joker table. There's going to be a lot of us at this Joker table, and so it's going to be the class clowns of the kingdom, and I think it's going to be sitting around our table, and I know a lot of you guys are going to be there as well on the class clown table. Okay.
One thing I want to say, it says they're not given in marriage, neither do they marry. What about people that are already married?
That is interesting.
Because it says there's basically no new marriages. There are 1 through 7. They're not going to remarry.
Well, it says they neither marry nor are given in marriage, but are as messengers in the Shamayim.
Right, but they see that these guys see there's 1 through 7, and one of them wanted the wife back, and since one of them would have to get married again since they died.
Right, but if that was the case, and they were all married to that woman, they would all be married in the Shamayim, right? And so
I don't think so.
Why do you mean?
I mean,
so there's the question. Which brother would be married to the 7 men?
I don't think any of them, because there's had multiple husbands here.
What do you mean? How you see the logic on this is if there are marriages, then one of the 7 guys would have had the wife, right? Are you with me on that?
Yeah, if I'd have to say the first one would get it, since he was the original husband, but
right. But I mean, that's the thing is that's what he is clarifying for us, is that there are not. And so maybe there are. I'm not. We might all hang out together. It might be a giant family, but marriage as we know it may not exist like it is. It doesn't exist because I'm taking the word of Messiah Yahushua as it is. So any other comments? Those are awesome comments, though. I love that one, Jed. Okay, anyone else? And concerning the dead, that they rise. Have you not read in the book of Moshe at the bush how Elohim spoke to him, saying, I am the Elohim of Abram, and the Elohim of Yitzchak, and the Elohim of Yaakov? He is not the Elohim of the dead, but Elohim of the living. You then go greatly astray. Okay, what does he mean by this? I am the Elohim of Abraham, and the Elohim of Yitzchak, and the Elohim of Yaakov. And then he goes on to clarify that they're not dead. What can we glean from afterlife based upon this?
Basically, that these people are sitting there waiting for the kingdom to open up for them.
Yeah, they're hanging out somewhere, so they are not dead. We may miss our living people here on the earth and our animals and things like that, but I don't know if the animals are in the Shamaim, but for sure
They should be.
Yeah, they should be. They absolutely should be. I hope we have 25 cows in the back of our house in the Shamaim, wherever that is. Mount Zion. Hopefully, I have my cows back. Okay, 27. He is not the Elohim of the dead, but the Elohim of the living. You then go greatly astray. And one of the scribes coming near, hearing them reasoning together, knowing that he had answered them well, asked him, which is the first command of all? Now, you're in the Sefer, right, Jade?
Yep.
Okay, what does yours say? Is this
Which is the first commandment of all.
Okay, and yours, Kate, are you even paying attention, or are you petting dogs? Petting dogs. Do you even know where we're at?
And when the
What did
scribe
you say?
came and reasoning and perceived, asking him, which is the first commandment of all?
Okay, so what is the first commandment? That is a question. What is the first commandment?
Basically, what would be the command that sums all up? What would be the starter command to intro into the Torah?
Yeah, and this is the Christian conundrum right here. This is the Christian conundrum. Because let's just read it first. And Yahushua answered him, the first of all the commands is, hear, O Yisrael, Yahuwah our Elohim. Yahuwah is one. And you shall love Yahuwah, your Elohim, with all your heart and with all your being and with all your mind and with all your strength. This is the first command. Okay, now this is the Christian conundrum, right? How are you snacking on pork, pig, things, worshiping on the wrong day? If you truly love your parents with all your heart, mind, and soul, then you wouldn't sit and mess with your parents. You wouldn't disobey your parents. You wouldn't do what they told you not to do. The same is right here. Our parent is Yah. That is our Father. That is who has given us an instruction list, a beautiful, wonderful, wondrous instruction list. And when we say we're not going to do them, there is no possible way that we can say we love our Creator with all our heart, mind, and soul. You can say it. I can say to my wife, I love you with all my heart, mind, and soul, and then I can beat her at night when I get drunk. And then that doesn't say anything, right? And no, I don't beat my wife when I get drunk. I don't drink. I don't do any of that. I'm just saying an example. Everybody's looking over at me and smiles and stuff like, when was the last time you saw me beat your mother?
I don't know, that analogy went off the rails real fast.
Yeah, no, that's what it is saying, right? I can't love her with my heart, mind, and soul if I get liquored up every single night and beat her up. That isn't what love is. It's the same as disrespecting our Creator. And in one way, we are beating him up. We're getting liquored up on the world, and then we are beating him up because we do not keep his law, statutes, and commands. And so if we love our Creator with all our heart, mind, and soul, you will want to do what they say with no shadow of doubt. It has to be their ways or no ways. 31. And second, like it is this: you shall love your neighbor as yourself. There is no other greater than these. Okay, he gave us two different commandments. The Christians will say there's only two commandments. I've heard this 1,000 times, and that might be a lie. I don't think it's 1,000, but I've heard it a lot. Right? That we have two commandments, Jason. And I love God with all my heart, mind, and soul, and I love my neighbor. That sums up the entire Torah.
Well, a quick thing here is, that's what was the first commandment, and then Yahushua said these greatest commandments. He didn't say there's only two, you only need to follow two. They didn't ask which two commands do it, which commands do we only need to follow. They asked what the greatest commandment was.
What is the greatest? And I agree that is the greatest commandment, because if you love something with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your soul, you will protect it, you will cherish it, you will do whatever it takes, you will baby it. That is what you love. And we need to baby the Torah. We need to put it in our arms. We need to rock with it every single day. We need to make it part of our lives. We need to embed it into our hearts and our souls. Okay, 32. And the scribe said to him, Hold on. Well said, teacher. You have spoken the truth. For there is one Elohim, and there is no other besides him. Okay, this is one of these tricky Trinitarian verses, right? It says there is one Elohim. This guy just said there's one Elohim. People got it. Our Messiah just said Yahuwah is one, right? Did he say he's one? Or did he give us the whole Shema?
No.
Yeah, he did. He gave us the Shema.
Did
Did he?
he? Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. Yahuwah is one.
Yeah, Yahuwah is one. Yahuwah is not two, right?
No, it's not three.
Or three, right? There is one. He has the Creator has a son. Does the Creator have a family up in the Shamayim?
He might.
Probably, but this is the Son. This is not the Creator, and so we have to get our scriptures dialed in correctly, and to love Him with all the heart, and with all the understanding, with all the being, and with all the strength, and to love one's neighbor as oneself is more than all the burnt offerings and slaughter offerings. Why is that worth more than all the burnt offerings and slaughter offerings?
Probably because you're not going to be sacrificing if you're doing these commands.
Yeah, if you're in love with Yah, if you're in love with this Torah, if you're in love with Messiah Yahushua, you are definitely not going to be hurting others. You're not going to be doing all this evil stuff. And so you wouldn't need to do the slaughterings. If we were in obedience to Yah, we would not have to do sacrifices like we had to sacrifice because we're just disobedient rebels. Okay, 34. And when Yahushua saw that he answered wisely, he said to him, "You are not far from the reign of Elohim." And after that, no one dared to question him. And Yahushua responding said, while teaching in the Mikdash, how is it that the scribes say that Hamashiach is the bin of David? David himself said that by the Ruach HaKodesh, Yahuwah said to Adonai, "Sit at my right hand until I make your enemies a footstool for your feet." Now, what does yours say in your version, Kate? Because Adonai, we just got onto this. We have a very good Telegram group, and there's a lot of wise people in our Telegram group, and it's always listed at the bottom of the description if anybody wants to join in there. But they said the other day, and I had not heard this, that Adonai was a pagan term, and we went and looked it up. And they sent us some research as well. And there is a god of Adonis. Adonis is a Greek god. And so I do not believe this word Adonai is the correct thing. It should be master, right? David himself calls him master. In what way is he the bin and the large crowd heard him gladly? Okay, so what is he asking him, guys?
He's saying that he is the son of David, but the son of David calls him the master because he has the Ruach HaKodesh.
Right.
It's the same thing Paul said that only by the Ruach HaKodesh can you say that Yahuwah is one and that Yahushua saved your soul.
Right. And so I will make your enemies a footstool for your feet. David himself calls him Adonai, master. In what way is he his bin? And the large crowd heard him gladly. And in his teaching, he was saying to them, beware of the scribes who like to walk around in long robes and greetings in the marketplaces, and the best seats in the congregations and the best places at feasts, who are devouring widows' houses and for a show make long prayers. These shall receive greater judgments. Yeah, no, I don't even want to bring these guys up, but we know who's devouring widows' houses, no doubt. And sitting opposite the treasury, he saw how the people put copper into the treasury, and how many rich ones put in much. And a poor widow came and threw in 2 small coins, which amount to a quarter. And calling near his talmidim, he said to them, truly, I say to you, that this poor widow has put in more than all those putting into the treasury. For they all put in out of their excess, but she, out of her poverty, put in all that she had, her entire livelihood.
I think this is the only gospel that even notes what happened here with the widow.
What's that? What do you mean?
With how she's the one who put everything she had in.
Right.
I think Mark is the only gospel that notes that.
Right.
That she did this.
Yeah, no, and this is, what do we make of this, right? It means that when people put in everything they have, and they have the faith of our Creator and the faith of His Son, that they're willing to do everything because they know our Creator will take care of them. It's the same thing for all of us. Our Creator could rain down dollar bills if He wanted to. If He wanted to make every single one of us rich, and that's what His will was, He would do it, right? If we were hungry, He would make food come out of the sky. He would make manna fly out of this. So I think that is it. Our dogs are starting to get a little wild. We love you guys very, very much. We thank you guys for hanging out with us and reading with us on a day-to-day basis. We value you guys. We love you guys. May Yahuwah bless you. May he guide you. May your days be wonderful. And may you forever seek his Torah and his Son. Thank you guys very, very much.
All right,
All right,
shalom.
shalom.
Shalom.